Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson. Remember, it's not all in your head. We want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, you are never, ever, ever alone. And here on Invisible Condition, we get it, man. We know that life can be tough sometimes. Been there, okay? Been there. We know it can be tough. We also know that there is always hope. Always, always, always hope. That's where we live here. That's where we operate from, is a world of hope. So if you're not there, join us. It's nice here. So now I want to talk about a couple things before we bring my guest on for today. Two things. One, we have a nonprofit side of our show, and it's called Hydro with Hope Foundation. And Hydro with Hope is here to help people, families, individuals with dealing with all the things that come with brain surgery and everything, with a condition called hydrocephalus. We shortened it. We figured it'd be better that way. Hydro with Hope. Hydrocephalus is a crazy condition. I was born with that condition. Had my first brain surgery at 2 weeks old. I've had 7 over my lifetime, not to mention 7 or 8 other crazy surgeries to, deal with other co-conditions and effects that the brain surgery had. And anyway, it's a crazy life sometimes with hydrocephalus. And so we want to help families and help individuals that are living that life and make their life a little bit easier. And one of the ways we do that is with a tool that we developed through the nonprofit, which is a journal, a 150-page journal, kind of fill in the blank, personalized journal for you, called My Hydro Warrior Story. And it's for helping you and your family deal with this crazy brain surgery. We get to have brain surgery again. Let's go in the hospital, and you get to document everything throughout that whole process so that when you show up to the next doctor appointment, you have information that you can give them, and you're not completely left speechless when they start asking you questions at those appointments. That's just one aspect of it. My wife and I also love to speak at conferences and whatnot to just spread joy and spread hope, because this condition, it is not the end of the world. You can have hope even with hydrocephalus. It can be a beautiful thing. And so we want to help as many people as possible. And we are starting to run out of, there seems to be an imbalance between resources and things we want to do to help people. And so we are expanding our board, and we want you to help if you are so inclined. So if you have a certain skill set that you think would be beneficial to us at Hydro with Hope, I would highly encourage you to email me at invisiblecondition@e360tv.com and let me know that you'd like to chat about that. At the same time, we also have advertisements on this show. We have sponsors on this show. It is part of the fun of a TV show is the commercials that come with it, and the sponsors that you get to see that are joining us in this mission. And so if you would like to be one of those, I would love to talk to you about advertising on our show. Reach out, invisiblecondition@e360tv.com, and let's have a conversation. I'll send you a link, and we can jump on the calendar and talk. So awesome. Thank you so much. I am ready for our guest here. Let me put this back up there so we have all that done. All right, perfect. Here we go. My guest today, this is going to be good. Electrici-Chi is his name, and he has earned many, many, many certifications, more than I care to think about in a lifetime. He's got a lot of stuff under his belt, man, widely varying skills, including registered dietitian, certified diabetes care specialist, certified personal trainer, registered yoga teacher, performer, musician. I can relate to him on that one. Right on. Wrestler, boxer, MMA fighter. I mean, he's got almost as a colorful resume as I do. After a near-death experience at 19, he left the fitness industry to study ancient healing practices in India and China, leading to some pretty amazing, powerful discoveries about the body's energy systems, or what he calls Electrici-Chi, which we'll get into that. I know it's a word that you've never heard before. I hadn't heard either. We'll get into that. With that understanding, and after 20 years of development, Rich has developed something called the muscle release system, known for relieving pain in seconds and boosting athletic performance. Now, through his recharging wellness coaching and new book, Get Recharged Now, Rich helps others tap into the body's electric circuits to gain energy, heal faster, and live longer. Who doesn't want all that? So let's bring him on and see what the heck is going on here. This sounds very interesting. Rich, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely, man. I had forgotten, man. We obviously had a conversation, a couple of weeks ago before we are here, and I'm sure you told me about some of that stuff you'd done in the past, but man, what a colorful resume. Yeah.
Done a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I swear, I feel like I can relate to that a little bit. So we'll dive into that in a second, but I do have a question for you that I ask everybody on the show, because as I said in the beginning there, during my intro, we live and operate in a world of hope around here. And during the crazy, uncertain, painful times of your journey, where, how did you maintain your hope?
In short, deep inside, somewhere within, in a lot of silence, there's, what yoga calls your higher self, your true self. And, if you sit long enough and kind of weed through all the fears and the worries and the anxieties and the what if this or what if that happens and oh my God, this, and, you just find the place of hope, of calm, and that inner calming voice and that center, your higher self. And that's also found a lot of hope in just all these ancient healing systems, because they were just so helpful, even though I had to search far and wide for them. So
love it. Love that answer. That's great. Yeah, I agree. I have I have had to search, maybe not quite as far or wide as you did, but I definitely have tapped into some of those alternative. I hate that it's called alternative. I say that, it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
But really, that should be what's called the traditional model, and this new thing, with the doctors and the hospitals and all that stuff. That's the new guy on the block, So
yeah, it was here first.
But right, yeah, exactly. They were all here first, man, for thousands of years,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of backwards, but I agree.
I mean, it is amazing though, what modern medicine can do. I mean, with surgeries and, I always say every system has its strengths,
Yes.
So everything has its place.
It's true, man. I wouldn't be here without good surgeons and anesthesiologists and nurses and operating rooms and all that stuff. But I also wouldn't be here without, neurofeedback and chiropractic neurology and iridology and all these other art forms out there that are more, they've been around a lot longer, So it's good to have a combination, right? So well, hey, let's kick this off here. Take us back to when you were 19, man. You had a near-death experience that I can't wait for our audience to hear about. That's something you don't hear of every day. So yeah.
So so I was just I struggled a lot throughout my teens. I always struggled with energy. You talk about invisible conditions. Fatigue it's pretty invisible. Like, you can't measure it, and not everybody can tell, if you're faking it or not. So my Well, 19 is kind of fast forwarding a little bit, so I'll go back a little farther.
All right.
My brother got me involved in martial arts when I was like 8 years old, and he was in an adult class in Buffalo, New York, at a place called Delaware Park. Very beautiful little park. And I was 8 years old, but I was doing this, martial arts class, praying mantis kung fu class with all these adults. So I was, just keeping up with, my brother and everyone there.
Yeah.
Doing 50 push-ups, 50 squats, 50 crunches, all this. Yeah, it was pretty, just some guys in the park, doing martial arts.
There you go. Yeah.
But I remember the next day I got up and I could hardly get out of bed. Like I was so sore because I had never, moved like that before. And from that day on, that's when it kind of started. I was hooked to this whole fitness, more is better, no pain, no gain mentality.
Yeah.
And, like if you don't wake up sore, and falling apart, like you're not doing anything productive with your life.
Oof.
So, and that I just kind of continued that, I was hooked. I lifting weights at a very early age. I continued martial arts, until I got a black belt in Kung Fu, that same style.
Wow.
And I wrestled in high school, all throughout high school. That took a huge toll, although I couldn't feel it at the time. I wasn't listening to my body. And then I was a boxer, I was a kickboxer. And eventually at age 19, I was training for MMA.
Wow.
Just kind of like the ultimate test for, an athlete, a fighter.
Yeah.
And I was training for a next fight in my buddy's basement. And my heart rate shot up to like way over 200. It wouldn't go back down. I got rushed to the hospital and I almost died. Like,
yikes.
Just out of severe exhaustion.
Yeah.
And so when I finally recovered and got out of there, I realized, wow, I really don't know what health and fitness is, I guess. Because, going back again, up until that point, I was going to getting all these tests done, blood test, CAT scan, MRI, allergy test, sleep study, and going to all these specialists because I was always tired, and I couldn't figure out why. But because of my, modern health and fitness mentality, I would always, whenever I didn't have a lot of energy, I would just do more. Right. So I would just think like, oh, I'm not doing enough cardio. So I would go do some more cardio and I would lift more weights and I would eat more protein, overloading my kidneys. And that, little did I know, was just kind of like speeding up the whole process of running my body into the ground.
Yeah.
So when I got out, I was like, man, I really just need to try something else. So like many people, I tried the holistic route as like a last resort. Like,
that is the last resort, isn't it? Everybody thinks, well, oh, fine, we'll try this. Yeah.
I'll try some, crazy flower tea or something. So I always heard about this herbologist, out in the country, again, out
always out in the country. Yeah.
So I went searching for him and, just, he really listened to me. He gave me he said, maybe come back for a full, in-depth hour consult. And after I was done, he looked at me, he felt different parts of my body. He really examined, like my tongue and different parts of my body. And he goes, yep, I think your organs are starting to shut down.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, on the one hand, I was a little shocked. Like, what are we talking about? I'm perfectly healthy and fit. All the specialists keep telling me, I'm the epitome of health.
Yeah.
What's this guy talking about?
Yeah.
But
you sure you have my chart in front of you? Yeah.
Right. Right. But on the other hand, you talk about hope. I felt this huge sense of hope because for the first time, this was somebody sounding like he knew what was wrong with me. For the first time. Like he sounded like he had a clue of how to help me. And everyone else would just be, I don't know what you're talking about. You're fine.
Right.
So I was super, super hopeful. And I came back, and after everything this guy taught me to do, acupuncture, yoga, eat differently, think differently, sleep differently, move differently, I started to feel better.
Nice.
And I just looked around one day like, where was all this? When I was like asking all these, world-class people, where was all this? Where was it hiding?
Seriously. Jeez.
And so we started a health center, a holistic health center, and we helped thousands of people, especially with fertility. We even lived across the street from a modern fertility clinic, and they would send all their like clients that they kind of written off as like kind of hopeless, and we would have success with them within like 6 months.
I love that.
And just another testament to the ancient forms of healing.
Yeah.
And just continued on that path, and there's been a lot of crazy energy awakenings along the way.
Yeah, I imagine. When you pursue all what you've been pursuing, it's bound to have a lot of aha moments. Yeah, along the way. Man, so I'm going to put I want to do two things. Number one, I want to put this up here and say, thank you for watching, by the way, everybody. Thank you for being here today. And if you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube and you have a question for Rich, throw it in the comments and we'll get back to you. He'll get back to you. We'll figure out a way to connect you guys. And then, because, I'm fully anticipating somebody, especially with this kind of story, to be like, wait, this doesn't sound like what I've heard my whole life. So if you want to talk to Rich, there is also his website, which go ahead and just give people an idea what they're going to find when they get there to your website.
Sure. You're going to see my little logo. It's like a cell phone icon, when it's charging.
Nice.
And I'm really excited about it. It looks like it's charging, get recharged now. But you're going to see, the first button to be to click, and have a free call with me and, go over a free plan. My book is on there. Get recharged now, have more energy with the secrets to longevity. And more about me and all these different podcasts, TV shows, articles I've been doing, and just more about my story on there.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And there is a lot on the website. I was looking at it earlier, and there's a lot of stuff on there. So
one of my favorite things to tell people to go on the website for is to watch a video. It's like Chi, Kundalini, or Energy on the menu, and you'll see a documentary of. I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but of one of the most powerful energy masters. A lot of people think, when they hear the word energy, like, oh, the body's energy. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, it's out there. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was a documentary done, I don't know, 20 or so years ago. And all these world-renowned scientists tried to debunk him, basically thinking he had some kind of wire, because he was shocking people through his hands and starting paper on fire with his hands. And there's it's a very short diet. It's like 8 minutes long. It's very entertaining, but you can see like there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot to the body we don't know here in the West.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm excited. Yeah, everybody go to the website. Scan the QR code, check out some of this stuff, because there is a lot that a lot of people aren't paying attention to, or just haven't learned. You don't know what you don't know sometimes. So that's sometimes the thing. So I'm actually going to take this off the screen right now, though, because we are going to go to our first commercial break. Just quickly, we're going to go, make the sponsors happy, a little bit, and then we'll be right back, and then we can continue with the story. And you definitely want to come back. We're gonna talk about some of the stuff that you do. Like, how do you recharge the body naturally? How do you take some of these steps? So stick around, don't go anywhere, and we'll see you here in just a couple minutes.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
The Club eFit Home Portable Gym System is a groundbreaking new system that can help everyone at any fitness level. You can be the happy, fit person you always wanted to be, and Club eFit can make that happen by helping you get the body you deserve in the time you can spare. With workouts ranging from cardio, core, to total body toning, it's easy to get started. Start taking care of you today. To make the change, go to clubefit.com now.
Hey friends, this is Ben Hummel. I'm the host of the Genius Way Show, where you'll learn to access your inner gifts, talents, and callings, and how to express them out in the world. Join me here each Sunday at noon Pacific time on the Achieve TV network, right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here, Rich. This is awesome. I don't know a lot of people that have had near-death experiences, so this is very educational.
I'm trying to prevent other people from having them.
Right? Yeah. Seriously. Either you're there or you're here. Let's not go between, man. Like, let's just let's stick around until it's time to go. So
no drifting.
No, that's right. Seriously. Right. So you had this experience. How did it like afterwards? What do you do with that? Like, what was the impact after?
So basically my whole life changed.
Yeah, I would think so.
I was just doing things in a certain way, the modern way, following all the health and fitness fads. Again, more cardio, more protein, and I just had to take a step back because there's just been Chinese medicine is 3,000 years old around. Ayurvedic medicine, from India is about 5,000 years old, and they just knew a lot of stuff about the body and about wellness. And I always say, like, especially in the book, I outline, Chinese medicine, these people, they outlined all the circuits in which the electricity in the body flows. I mean, before any modern research, any of this technology, or even AI,
right.
AI is doing everything nowadays. But I think the reason that we don't acknowledge it as much in our modern technology is because, although they are starting to really apply it now, like it's finally starting to catch on 3,000 years later. Right. But it's because it is kind of invisible. You can't dissect the kidney circuit or the lung circuit or the liver circuit, when you're dissecting your cat in high school, No. No. It's not a wire. It's not a physical wire. But I mean, my whole life has been just like this culmination of little proofs that the electricity in the body is real. The first time that I kind of realized it was I was on a treatment table, and after about 6 months of just being religious with everything that I was doing, breathing, meditation, yoga, diet, acupuncture, everything, I started to feel the electricity, shoot up and down my arms and legs. Like, zoop, 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 zoop. And I said, whoa,
Okay.
all right. I guess it is real, The second big awakening was, so I would, I just kind of really, after that, transition, near transition,
Right.
I just really got serious about yoga, and I did a lot of yoga, and I learned how to do yoga correctly, because again, in the modern world, it gets kind of misconstrued and mistranslated.
Sure.
But I was sitting in meditation, and all of a sudden my spine started to shake and kind of oscillate like this, just like it is now.
What?
It's still, and I know it sounds crazy, I don't always talk about it because people are like, oh yeah, whatever, but it literally just started shaking and moving me involuntarily for like 4 hours into yoga positions and breathing. I was conscious, and it wasn't like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, move me, energy, I wasn't channeling. Maybe I was channeling, I don't know, but it was literally just, so basically It was the energy, the circuits of energy going up and down the spine. And after decompressing my spine and opening all that muscle tension for so long, it just opened up so much, and the energy it's kind of trapped in our spine. So
yeah,
we have a lot of, we always hear this, we have so much potential that we're not using. It's in all of us, but it's trapped. So eventually I developed this system called the muscle release system, where it, kind of rooted in yoga, but just getting the muscles to release and the spine to decompress, to open up all these energy, bioelectricity circuit, or Electrici-Chi as I call it, circuits in the body, so that you can just have more energy and you can just feel better.
Nice. Yeah. Well, and I think so many people are so skeptical of that stuff. It's like, come on, really? Yeah. You get, is there really, there's movies out there about it. There's one, in fact, I just watched one the other day. It was, I can't remember what Lucy, I think was the name of it, right?
Oh, I saw that one.
Right? Using 100% of your brain.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Like, all that is so, or Limitless is another one that I love.
Yeah. Or the one with Dr. Strange, where he's.
There you go. Yeah, right? Yeah. There's so many things out there that people see and they're like, well, wouldn't that be nice?
Well,
I'll tell you, is it really possible? I don't know. Like,
I'll tell you. So that brings us to the next segment of our story here. So if that, all that wasn't enough, going through this, and, I did kind of go through that. I went, on YouTube and just kind of shouted it from the rooftops, like, look at me, my body's shaking and it's moving me involuntarily. Like, the energy in the body is real. The whole yoga principle, opening up the energy, and it's real. And everyone was like, it just kind of went nowhere. But they didn't really have podcasts and TV shows like this back then. So
right.
We're in a different era now. I think the truth about a lot of things is finally coming out.
Totally.
So it's our time here.
Very cool. Yeah.
So about 3 years ago, and again, definitely go to the website and look at that video on the Chi Kundalini energy page.
Yeah.
I saw this video of this guy, again, shooting electricity out of his hands, that whole documentary. And he actually passed away, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, or a little less than that, maybe 5 years ago. And I remember I was super bummed. I'm like, I missed my chance. I'm never going to get to meet this guy and learn, see if this, what this guy was talking about was real.
Right.
But after a lifetime of searching, I found, a master that actually has the same ability. And, literally, like, he's doing acupuncture on you. And then after he's done, he's literally shooting bioelectricity out of his hands. And I swear it feels like you're being tasered. Like, I've never been tasered, but I can only imagine.
I haven't either, so I don't know. But yeah,
if I was, I only imagine that's what it would feel like.
Wow.
Or like, maybe if you ever had like what's that, the TENS unit?
Okay. Yeah.
The little the stimulators or the patches on there, cranked up all the way for like 10 seconds straight until you're like, all right.
Mercy. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, there's things that they're either hidden from us or they're just kind of ignored. They've been ignored.
Yeah.
And we're not taught about these things. But, these people have been doing these breathing exercises for, since they were like 5 years old, in the mountains, in temples. And again, like the biggest proof that the body is electric, and they're storing electricity in different batteries in their bodies, and they're able to, and I've been learning this practice. So
that's awesome.
now even when I'm sitting here, like I can feel the two main circuits, like the governing and the conception vessel that go up the back and down the belly. Like it's literally just moving like a little ball of, bioelectricity, and it just kind of rocking me back and forth, especially when I do, all these breathing exercises. So I developed this muscle release system to help people. And it's completely like, there's no flexibility required. I was at a, you don't have to like put your leg behind your head. But I was at a health expo a couple months ago, right here in Ohio, and I got rid of like 4 people's sciatic nerve pain in like 30 seconds. People that have struggled for like 5 or more years, with all these world-renowned specialists and all these modern techniques and everything.
Goodness.
Fancy processes and machines. Just because I learned that stretching really doesn't work. Again, it's a modern thing that we kind of do. Is like, oh, gotta stretch. And sure, like it's important that flexibility. It's definitely true that flexibility is important, but the way we've been going about it is kind of wrong. But to give you an example, any time in life when something is tight, mechanics, anything, when you if you pull on something that's tight, what's going to happen?
It's going to break.
It's going to get tighter. So why would tight muscle, and you're just like, oh yeah, let me yank on it.
Let me work it over a little more. What you end up doing is just yanking on your joints and pulling your joints out of place. The muscle doesn't really relax. So I've been working, I worked with runners. Like every runner I've worked with has shaved minutes off their marathons. And it looks like you're stretching. It looks kind of like you're stretching. So if anybody saw you, you're like, oh, he's stretching. But what's going on inside, again, the invisible thing we don't see is releasing muscle tension, getting your spine to decompress. So again, getting all these circuits to open up. Yeah.
Because again, when I was going to all these specialists and get all these tests done, again, modern medicine is amazing. It can save lives. If a body part falls off, you go straight to the ER. Don't go to a holistic practitioner per se, maybe. But our tests they're just not specific enough to pick up on the energy circuits and like the level of bioelectricity or where blockages are. So
I mean, there's all these different scans for very specific reasons. I just remember seeing something, I don't know, scrolling through Facebook, the other day, and I saw an image, and it had a banana, right? And it was like, here's a banana under X-ray, here's a banana under MRI, here it is under CT, here it is under ultrasound. It's like it all shows you a little bit different stuff. It shows you it's still a banana every single time, but it shows you different imagery depending on the type of thing that you're. And it's the same thing. If this is what's going on in the body, you got to assign the right thing to it, right? To fix it, instead of going and just taking a pill. Something.
So I've learned a lot, and as a dietitian, like when I work with people as a wellness coach, we're covering everything, because health and wellness really takes, I always say, wellness is what you do on a daily basis.
There you go.
So you have to do the right things. And even as a dietitian, I see so many. I'm sure everybody out there, if you're on social media, you've seen a video or two, some crazy, supplements and, don't eat this.
Right.
Or, there's basically a video telling you not to eat every single food group
Of course.
out there.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but there's all these modern, trends and everything. But the one thing I don't see a lot of people talking about is boosting your overall digestion, because you can flood yourself with all the nutrients you want, but if your digestion is not strong enough, you're not going to be able to utilize those nutrients. And a lot of times, that's what I teach, when I work with people, is how to boost your digestion. And people are amazed. They're like, wow, I never thought I had any problems with my digestion because I don't have any GI symptoms. That's a later stage of having problems. But I mean, if you're waking up, I always tell people, like, if you're waking up in the morning and you don't feel full of energy and just excitement, ready to go, there's one or many things wrong, with your body. Our tests, they just don't detect them.
Yeah, it's true. You have to. It's like you're never going to go to, well, like the example I like to use, you can't, I've had brain surgeries for a few times over my lifetime, right? If I know that I need brain surgery, I'm not going to go to like a cranial sacral office, you can't chiropractic your way out of brain surgery if you need it, You've got to find the right thing. And I feel like that's in our current medical system, that is lost on so many people. They don't know how to effectively look for the right thing to address the right thing that they're dealing with. Does that make sense? Am I crazy? Like that's been say what you want about the medical system and an alternative world, but really you should be using both, because it'll help you get to the root of what you're dealing with faster, because there's so many more tools out there. So I don't know.
And that's something that I always work with people, trying to find like weakest link, using these ancient healing systems to see, okay, maybe your digestive system is maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your kidneys. And opening up those circuits, circulation. It's not just energy, it's, even if you don't believe in energy, still it's more blood, it's more oxygen, it's more nutrients getting to all your trillion, more flexibility and more circulation. So and again, even if, for people that are struggling with fatigue or back pain or sciatica or things like that, it's going to help tremendously. But even if you feel pretty good and all your tests are normal, there's so many higher levels of wellness that we can reach. Again, people are shooting electricity out of their hands in other parts of the world. There's a higher level for you. And the thing that kind of makes it tricky is we're at a certain level right now. Like our energy level is, our baseline is a certain level. We may not know that we are so exhausted because it's been, our energy has been declining, so gradually or steeply, like I was, over time,
right,
that we just kind of get used to it. It's just like, I've heard people say, like, oh, this part of getting old, like I've heard people say that, like in college, like early in their 20s, just because they're drained, they have no idea that this unhealthy, or less than optimal lifestyle over time has just, their organs are not in top shape,
Right.
So you can really, there's so much you can do to boost your energy level. And I always say health is how you feel, that's what I was saying. As you start to, as I work with people, they're like, oh my God, like I did that and I have so much more energy. Now your baseline's up here. And then, before you know it, you're up here and you're like, oh man, like I used to be down there. And then you do something stupid. Like, I used to go back in the gym and do these crazy workouts and tighten my back up and close down all my circuits. And then I would start to feel like I can't even reach that low, like under the floor. And I'd be like, all right, I gotta like do all these things that, the muscle release and
right.
Eat better. And then so your baseline and your optimal functioning gets higher. This is why it works so well with sports and athletes. And your tolerance for feeling less, your tolerance for feeling crappy kind of decreases, the better you feel.
Right.
So I love helping people just feel better than they ever thought that, they could imagine.
That's beautiful. And maybe when we're going to go to one more break, when we come back, maybe you can, I don't know, could you show us like a practical thing, something that you would actually show somebody to do if they found themselves in that spot? Like, I just ate lunch. Why am I so stinking tired?
Sure.
Why,
sure.
What do we do with that? So we'll do some practical stuff on the other side of the break. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. And we'll be back with Rich here in just a minute. Thanks.
Tired of losing cell service in dead zones? Concerned about connectivity in emergencies? There is now an answer. Introducing the Love Pod. The world's first affordable encrypted global internet Wi-Fi hotspot connects with multiple service carrier networks and is satellite assisted when no service carrier networks are available. So it works virtually anytime, anywhere. Connect up to 9 devices, like our cell phone, laptop, desktop, TV, security cam, and more. Stream, chat, text, download, and make phone calls, all with no roaming fees. With mesh capability, the Love Pods will grow in strength and speed with each new pod activated to create a private terrestrial-based intranet called Love Global Network. The Love Pods are dual blockchain encrypted with Love's proprietary 2048-bit cube chain encryption, giving you the ultimate protection in data privacy and security against digital attacks and hacks to your devices. You are no longer tracked, and your data is never sold. Get the Love Pod, your private, encrypted, portable global internet Wi-Fi hotspot, and stay safe and stay connected.
Hey everyone, Coach Greg here from Living Empowered TV, where we help women live empowered lives through amazing guests, life hacks, mental, physical, and emotional health. See us on the Achieve Network, 12 o'clock Wednesdays Pacific time on E360 TV. Don't miss out.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are almost there. We're almost done. But before we wrap up here, we got about 10 minutes to go. Let's get practical here. You're talking about these exercises that you can lead people through and how simple it is, and how, I think that's the biggest thing is people hear about this stuff. They're like, well, obviously you trained for years. You're black belt this and all this stuff. How am I going to possibly be able to do any of this stuff? So what's something simple that anybody could do?
Yeah. So you mentioned, I just got done eating and I feel exhausted.
Right.
There's again, as a dietitian, like we can do another 20 episodes. There's so much with eating.
Yeah.
Like either you could have eaten the wrong things. You could have eaten the chemical that causes fatigue. You could have eaten too much,
Sure.
carbs, proteins, or fats, or all together.
That's a big question. That was a big one. I probably should have picked something else.
No, it's fine. That's fine. But there's so many things you can do to boost digestion. So there is hope if you're getting tired after you eat every time.
Nice.
And again, on social media, if you guys are on anything on social media, I have a series going on right now, How to Have More Energy biohacks. It's a 100-part series. So little
Whoa.
tips, little things like this that I do now to have more energy and just boost your overall wellness.
And
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, on all those social media platforms, you have the same name on there. What's your handle on those?
Yeah, it's at Registered Chi, which means energy, by the way. Registered Chi Wellness. Apparently, Registered Chi was already taken, so I had to add wellness.
There you go. All right.
But yeah, a little taste of the muscle release system, and I put some beginner things in the book to get started, because I just want to help. It's so simple,
Yeah.
and once you learn these things, you'll be like, oh my, how did I ever live without this?
Right.
But so anytime you're like sitting in a chair,
Okay.
you can get in a chair. Again, it's all about releasing muscle tension and decompressing your spine. So I hope I can get the angle here.
There you go.
But if you have your legs just kind of like, first of all, you want your thighs about parallel with the floor. You don't want to be up too high so that your thighs are angled down. You want to be too low, like you're sitting in a lowrider.
Yeah. All right.
So thighs parallel with the floor, and your shins, your legs just kind of like perpendicular with the floor, so not too far forward, not too far back, like a 90-degree angle. Sitting up straight and just lean forward and just let your elbows rest on your thighs, and then just kind of let your head slowly drop. And you may already do this in the bathroom sometimes, but you're literally, if you do this consciously, and just let your head relax. And usually when I say that a second time, you see everybody's head go down,
Right.
like
90%
more, because we hold so much tension in our neck.
Right.
But just by the simple act of leaning your weight on your thighs, you're taking the pressure off your back.
Yeah.
So your back you can kind of feel it. You may get some cracks in your back, but you can kind of feel that decompression as you do that. Yeah, sorry if you hear my fan. I'm on the third floor.
I was gonna say, I heard a little, something, but that's
it's like maybe 100 degrees up here. So, but just sitting like that, and then when you're done, just kind of push yourself back up, and again, little simple things like that can start that process of relieving muscle tension, decompressing your spine.
Nice.
And I swear, again, when I say health is how you feel, I'm not gonna say my exact age right now, but I'm getting up there. I could say, 20 years ago I did this, 20 years ago I did that. But I feel 10 times better than I did 20 years ago.
Nice.
Because I keep getting rid of that muscle tension, decompressing my spine to keep my energy circuits open.
Yeah.
And again, getting all that circulation. But
awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of, whether you're, like you said, in the bathroom, or there's people when you're sitting waiting, like, God forbid you have to go to the DMV to renew your tags or whatever. I see people doing it all the time. They lean forward on their legs, on their knees, and maybe they're looking at their phone or they're looking at, whatever. And they just kind of sit there. They don't even know they're doing it. So one extra little step and you could actually be helping yourself pretty.
And that's kind of like my whole concept, like get recharged now. Like there's always something you can do wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to boost your overall wellness and to just have more energy. And if you, again, things to do, life's all about direction. If you have no direction, you're going in the wrong direction.
Right.
But if you know what to do on a daily basis, you wake up, you're like, all right, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this today. Richie told me to do this today. And you do that day after day after day. You cannot believe how much better you're going to feel. And that's bringing the ancient traditions into modern day. Like that's what we're about here.
That's what so many people are doing right now. And it's like there's a trend for a reason. It must be working or people wouldn't keep doing it, because I think people are getting wise to the idea that there's just not that many arrows in the quiver of conventional medical model. There's just not that many solutions.
But it's
And
funny,
so,
we all learned about this in school. I forgot to
of
say,
course.
like the brain,
Yeah.
spinal cord, the heart, pacemaker, the
Yeah.
muscle contractions. Like, what is all this stuff?
Yeah.
It's all electrical. Our body is fully electrical, but again, because we can't dissect those, circuits in our body that this electricity runs, that they mapped out 3,000 years ago, we kind of just look past it.
Yeah.
But it's, again, like I said, it is starting to catch on. Even my wife and GI, they're using it for belly pain in kids by
Oh,
accessing certain points in the ear.
nice.
So it's really the applications that they're finding to use it for are just multiplying right now.
There was even I was in Bend, Oregon, getting a treatment done that I couldn't find anywhere else. Pressure point therapy on my vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve, I had no idea how extensive that thing is, man. It starts at your brainstem and literally goes everywhere. So I think the guy that was working on me a couple months ago up there was saying that there's pieces of your vagus nerve in your feet that actually help control your sense of smell. It's like, what is
there's little things called microsystems all over the body where different
crazy.
Parts of your body they have points in that specific part of your body that control or have an effect on different parts all over the body. So the ears, the foot, the hands, all over the place. When we used to do a certain yoga pose that opened up the sacrum in yoga class, we'd always have 2 or 3 people sneeze because it opens up the sinuses, the same nerves that are around the sacrum. So that's another story for another day.
Another day. Yeah, maybe. Well, hey, everybody, we are about at the end, man. We are almost out of time, and I wish we had another hour, but we don't. So is so glad that we did this, though. This is such good information, and there's so not out there right now. So the more we can get it out there, the better. So thank you for doing what you do and getting your book out there. Please go to the website. There's even a little spot on his website that just says book, and you can just click on the book and check it out. So go check that out and go schedule time with Rich so you can learn more about what's going on.
And even if you're not a book reader, there's 2 chapters in the back, or 2 pages each. I sum everything up.
Nice.
There's a long-term recharging guide for living longer, and there's a short-term recharging guide for if you're just running into an energy slump in the middle of the day. So you don't have to be a book reader. I'm not a book reader either.
Neither am I, man. Audible is my best friend in the world. If I can listen to it, I'm good.
Put the Spark Notes in the back.
That's right. Exactly. Well, hey,
it's
Rich,
a guide. Let's call it a guide.
We'll call it a guide. Yeah, there you go. So, well, hey, man, thank you so much for being here, man. It's been amazing, and I'm so glad we got this information out. Just thank you.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, man. Here we go. Oops, I'm going to take that off of there so it doesn't. Everybody, actually, wait. Scan the QR code. Scan it right. It's right there. Scan it. I'm going to take it off right now. 3, 2, 1. All right. There it goes. All right. If you missed it, go rewind the episode and watch it again and scan the QR code and meet with Rich. Be perfect. So, all right, everybody, listen, thank you for being here. I am so thankful that you're here and so honored that you chose to spend your time with me here today for the hour. And if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, share it, man. If this is if you found that this was your new favorite episode of the show, it might be somebody else's. They just don't know it yet because you haven't shared it with them. Share it out. Especially, YouTube is a super easy way to share it, Facebook. And join us for our next episode on Tuesday, July 8th. And until then, I will look forward to seeing you next time. Have an amazing day. We'll see you soon.